Hello, fellow duels. This is Shadow of the Moon, and today I'm with my wife, Dolphy, my lovely wife, Dolphy, and she's going to be showcasing her Red Dragon deck profile, Red Dragon Archfiend deck profile. So I'm going to take it away and let her do her thing.
Thank you, Shadow. So this is my second ever deck profile. I may be saying a lot tonight because I'm pretty exhausted, so this probably isn't going to be as quick file as my first deck profile
Our son made
was.
sure of that tonight.
So I'm going to start by saying that this is probably one of, if not my most favorite archetype in Yu-Gi-Oh! Is the Red Dragon Archfiend cards and their numerous support cards. Now, here's an interesting tidbit that probably is not going to interest anyone but me. The Red Dragon, the original Red Dragon Archfiend card was actually based off of the Red Dragon painting by William Blake. And a lot of the creatures in the archetype actually reference the poems and art of William Blake. I actually have this lovely custom mat that my husband had made for me, which actually features artwork by William Blake. So,
If that's not custom, I don't know what is. I mean, that's definitely tailored to you.
And I will start by showing off my Red Dragon Archfiend Ghost Rail.
Oh, we can see it. Just pull it up a little bit more. There we go.
So yeah, that looks very nice. Again, this was a gift from my husband, and I was very happy when I received this. This was really nice because this overall is one of my favorite cards. So I'll leave this up here, and I'll get started with the actual deck. So I'll put the extra deck over here, and I'll get started with these. Okay, so first you have 3 Wandering Keen Wild Winds. You really cannot play with this deck unless you have 3 of these guys, which if you control a Fiend type Tunnel with 1500 or less attack, you can special summon this card from your hand. If you attempt this, you cannot special summon monsters from the extra deck for the rest of this turn, except synchro monsters, which obviously if you're playing with a Red Dragon Archfiend deck, you're using nothing but synchro monsters, or at least in my opinion, you should be. And obviously all the Fiend type Tunnels, they're referencing all the, I'm going blank, the Resignators, the Resignator cards. So, also he has another great effect, which if you, let's say in your opening hand, you don't have a Tunnel, well, you don't have to worry about that if he's in your graveyard, because you can banish him from your graveyard, to add a Fiend type Tunnel with 1500 or less attack from your deck to your hand. So he searches for the Tunnels. So all in all, definitely you should run 3.
Isn't he the main monster to go into Red Supernova? Him and Crimson Resignator?
Yes, but I'll get to the little combo in a minute. Plus, I want to access all the monsters, so I will leave him to the side because he's actually going to be used to sew up a combo.
I actually don't think you have to do that. If they want, I actually did do the combo.
Okay, so I will just.
I actually did that with your deck like about a year ago, so because it
I
was very simple.
Okay, so this is a very pretty card. This is one of my favorite cards. Is Magical Keen Moonstar. I know a lot of people actually don't play with him, or they only play with 102. I really don't understand why you wouldn't want to include 3 of these guys. He can... Okay, so if you have a Tunnel monster, you can just special summon him from your hand. That's all. Now, if he's normal or special summoned, you can target one monster you control or in your graveyard, and until the end of this turn, its level becomes the same as the monster's. So, he can copy any level of a monster you control or that's in your graveyard. So,
which can very much
you
benefit
can use him
you
to bring out the really high level synchros or the lower level ones, or if you have a field full of monsters, you can make him a low level in order to go into one. There's never been a time I haven't really gotten a lot of use out of this card, and I really love the artwork on him. So this is actually something that I started using after following some recommendations on Reddit, was Sanguine. I know
Critter.
most people go with Witch of the Black Forest, but for my purposes, if you want to use her, that's fine, but for my purposes, whenever I played with her, I ran into the whole, oh, this is not a fiend. So because this is not a fiend, I can't actually pull off a lot of the combos in my deck. So I went with the next best thing. It's a Sortrel that's a fiend. And I use him to bring out a lot of the weenies. Basically, searches for a monster with 15 or less attack. He can search for any of the Resignators. So, he can also look for Magical King Moonstar, so he's pretty useful.
Wait, can he also look for the Red Warg? Isn't Red Warg 1400 or something?
I don't have Red Warg in here anymore. Which brings me to what I actually replaced Red Warg with, which is, and I have to look up his
Bestial
name.
Druiswarm.
Bestial Druiswarm. So I had Red Warg in my deck for a very long time, but I always found he was a little slow. This guy is better, because in order to special summon him, all you have to do is target a light or dark type monster near the graveyard and banish it. That means you can banish your opponent's monsters too in order to bring him out. If you do, special summon this card from your hand, and then, if this card is sent from the field to the graveyard, target a special summon monster your opponent controls and send it to the graveyard. So basically, he's a little trap bomb too. If your opponent sends him to the graveyard, you can blow up one of your opponent's special summon monsters. So you really won't go wrong by including 3 of this guy. And he is, a level 6, so you can use him to go into the higher levels pretty easily.
Once again, Bestials, another archetype that's formed based off of demons that nobody really seems to understand or ever when they play it. They're just, oh, this is a cool looking dragon, but I don't really know why I like it.
But I don't really know why I like it. Which I will get into more with my
Burning Abyss.
My next deck profile. Am I doing that one next?
You can do that next if you want
Okay,
to.
so next time I will be doing my Burning Abyss deck profile, which is my other favorite archetype. But back to this. So I have 2 red sprinkles. I know a lot of people play with 3. I knocked it down to 2 just because I don't really have room in my deck for 3 for one thing, and for another, I don't. He is a very good card, don't get me wrong, but I don't get as much use out of him. I don't want him in every hand.
If you don't want him in every hand, that
so
usually means
2 is perfect. Let's get to my Resignators next. Now, Crimson Resignator, you really should not be playing with a Red Dragon Archfiend deck if you don't have Crimson Resignator. I mean, look at that card. Not only is he absolutely adorable, look at that cute little demon, but his effect is amazing. If you control no monsters, you can special summon this card from your hand. Right off the bat, special summon. If the only other monster you control is exactly one Dark Dragon Synchro monster, which you should only have Dark Dragon Synchros in a Red Dragon Archfiend deck. I know a lot of people include other things, but you're actually selling yourself short, and you are crippling a lot of combos if you don't stick with Dark Dragons.
I mean, I honestly think that if you're playing a Red Dragon deck, you should have nothing but Dark Dragon Synchro monsters in the deck, period.
You can special summon up to 2 Resignator monsters from your hand or deck, except Crimson's.
That's really good.
So, he potentially, let's say you have Red Splinter on the field, or you have Wandering King Wildwind, or it can be any level 4. And you bring him out, and you go into Red Rising Dragon, and then you bring him back, and you only have exactly 1 Dark Dragon Synchro. Well, there you go. You can bring out 2 more Resignators, and you go into the big guy. You go into Red Supernova Dragon. Or let's say you prefer any of the other big guys. You can go into those instead. 1 Chain Resignator. I know some people don't include them at all. Some people put 2. I think that 1 is perfect. When he's normal summoned while a Synchro is on monsters on the field, again, he's a little situational. Special summon a Resignator from your deck, so you can use him to set up for some pretty good comebacks, which I have done.
Honestly, I think only other than Crimson and Red Resignator, you should only ever include one of most of the other ones because
Yeah.
they're not as beneficial.
Red Resignator is good all around. When it's normal summon, special summon a level 4 lower monster from your hand. There you go, instant synchro. And then if he special summon, target a face-up monster on the field and gain life points equal to its attack, which that means that you can target one of your opponent's monsters and gain life points equal to their attack, or let's say you have one of your really beefy synchros on the field, you gain life points equal to its attack. I use this effect at least once or twice every game, and it honestly helps because not only is your opponent worried about your destruction effects and you having high attack monsters on the field, but they're also worried about the fact that your life points keep going up and up and up and up and up. So, I only include 2 Synchron Resignators. A lot of people don't use it at all. Some people put 3. If a single monster is on the field, special summon this card from your hand. So, if he's sent from the field to the graveyard, target a Resignator monster in your graveyard and add it to your hand. So I use him for Resignator Recycle, and also I've used him quite a bit in comebacks when my field's starting to falter a little bit. I can bring him out and then bring out a stronger synchro. So he does help.
Because the deck is all about synchro climbing and immensely and just going up there. And I gotta say, I think I can agree. I think even Dolphy can definitely agree with me on this one. Why are the Resignators like a higher rarity, like super rare? I would think that.
Yeah, I don't really understand. I would really love Hollow Resin's
Like Crimson Resignator Ultra Rare would look really cute.
Resignant Destruction. Again, this is a card that not everyone uses, but I've had luck with it. So, each time a Resignator monster or monsters are sent to the graveyard as a result of a synchro material being a synchro material monster, select a card your opponent controls and destroy it. So you might be thinking, oh, well, a lot of monsters nowadays, can't be destroyed by cards. Yeah, but you can destroy backfield with this, which a lot of people play traps and quick plays and all that sort of annoying stuff. So, yes, you want to include those, in my opinion. Resonator Command. This is really useful if you only have Resignators in your hand and you need a non-Resignator. Discard a Resignator monster, add a level 4 level Fiend monster from your deck to your hand. And you only activate it once per turn, but that's all you ever need it for. 3 Resignator calls.
At least they made those ultra rare.
Yes. Add a Resignator monster from your deck to your hand. Best of all, it's not once per turn. So, this is a very useful card. Return of the Dragon Lords. Actually got the idea for this from Reddit. Target a level 7 or 8 dragon monster in your graveyard and special summon it. If a dragon monster or monsters you control will be destroyed by battle or card effect, banish this card from your graveyard instead. So this gives you protection for your synchros, since they're all dragons. And you can use this to recycle the level 8s. A Raigeki, because I always include a Raigeki in every deck. And Mystical Space Typhoon, you can laugh at me or whatever for that, but hey, backfield destruction is still a thing, and I will always fall back on these, because they're not as pricey as some options, and they're pretty readily available. Fullest Burial, 2 of these. I think
I know
these are limited.
It's limited to 1, but at
I
this
don't,
point, I don't care.
follow ban lists because I've never been to a tournament. I don't do competitive play, and I don't plan on doing it, so I don't know how that really relates to me at all. So, Fullest Burial, obviously you want to use these to dump your Wandering Keen Wild Winds in the graveyard primarily, to search for your tunels. Reject Reborn, when an opponent's monster declares a direct attack in the battle phase, and then special summon a tuner monster and a single monster from your graveyard. But their effects are negated. But you don't want them for their effects, you want it for that synchro, and also because it ends the battle phase. And then this card, yes, I know this one's not in English either, but I actually do prefer the non-English name.
Time to Stand. I prefer the Great Soul other than
the
Time
Great
to Stand
Soul.
Up.
The Great Soul is a reference to something. Not everyone's probably gonna get said reference. I think it's hilarious that
anybody's gonna get that.
I think it's hilarious that there was a code referencing that deals with the red dragon. But the English name. So
it's time to stand up.
Look at this. Time to stand up. What are you standing up for? What are you doing? Are you giving a standing ovation to the red dragon cards? Time to stand up.
Also,
Time to sit up. Time to sit down.
Also, the fact that the rarity is just a rare in the English.
Yeah, I mean this is a gorgeous card, and then you get this, and it's like, ew, what is this? Poop. This is butt wipe. But
that's funny.
So yeah, that concludes my next entry in Dolphy's profiles. Oh wait, no. Oh, I am brain dead tonight. So yeah, this the extra deck. How could I forget that? Sorry, I did warn everyone that I'm half asleep and really tired. So we have Red Supernova Dragon. I think everyone knows what this does, and for those that don't, this is a 4,000 beat stick. But aside from that, must first be synchro summoned, of course. Gains 500 attack for each tuner in your graveyard. So, bear in mind, you're using a minimum of 3 tunels to bring him out. So he is going to hit the field at a 5,500 rampaging points of attack. He cannot be destroyed by opponent's card effects. So right off the bat, it's immune to opponent's card effects. So you can't destroy him. You can kaiju him.
Which I've done quite a bit.
Which my husband has done. But I really think that's the only real way to get him off the field.
Well, you can, like, lightning storm. Oh,
no,
Raigeki.
Raigeki, yes. But that's unless I have something else on the field set up as a negate, which I usually try to do. Once per turn, when your opponent's monster effect is activated, no one ever seems to read this card, because they still try to activate effects. Or when an opponent's monster declares an attack, activate this effect. Banish this card, and banish all cards your opponent controls. And then during the next end phase, after this card was banished by its own effect, bring it back. So it protects itself by banishing itself. Kind of like Stardust Dragon. But then it wipes the entire field. So that means it gets rid of their backfield too. It's not just monsters. It banishes everything. So for all those cards that say that they can't be destroyed, well, it's not destroying them. It's banishing them. It's a field wipe. And it doesn't target either. It does everything.
And then it comes back at the end of the turn.
So, yes, this is a very good, very annoying card. This is
my Blackwing deck.
Hot Red Dragon Archfiend King Calamity, which my husband actually started using. When this card is synchro summoned, you can activate this effect. For the rest of the turn, your opponent cannot activate cards. Also, cards your opponent controls cannot activate their effects. So he sets off everything for that one turn. Which, in my experience, a lot of times you only need that one turn to gain an upper hand. Your opponent also cannot activate cards or effects in response to this effect's activation. So it's not like they can negate the effect when it hits the field. It goes off anyway. If this card destroys a monster by battle, inflict damage to your opponent equal to that monster's original attack. And then if he gets destroyed, I can target a level 8 or lower Dark Dragon single monster in my graveyard and special summon it. Also, he has 4,000 attack. Hot Red Dragon Archfiend Bane. Now, he's a little weaker at 3,500 attack, but that's still nothing to sneeze at. You contribute one monster, then target one Red Dragon Archfiend monster in your graveyard and special summon it. When this card inflicts, battle damage to your opponent, special summon 2 tuners with the same level, one from your deck and one from your graveyard in defense position. So he's really good for setting up for additional synchro summons, which I actually have used. Tyrant Red Dragon Archfiend. And you can only use one of its effects once per turn. No, each. Yes, you can use each of its effects once per turn. During your main phase, destroy all other cards on the field. So he's basically a... Yeah, he just blows everything up. He destroys everything. Also, for the rest of this turn, other monsters you control cannot attack. That's not that bad. I mean, you open your opponent up basically for a 3,500 direct attack unless they have anything to negate that. During either player's battle phase, when a spell or trap card is activated, negate the activation, destroy that card, and then this guy gains 500 attack. Not to the end of the turn, permanently. So, again, if you're going to bring out Red Supernova Dragon late on the game, instead of at the beginning of the game, I recommend probably trying to set him up first on the field to protect him from spells and traps. Hot Red Dragon Archfiend Abyss. So I actually have 2 of these guys in here. He's pretty easy to bring out. It's a quick effect. You can target one face-up card your opponent controls, negate its effects until the end of this turn. So he just sets off effects. That's all. He just sets off an effect, which is very useful since everyone's running around with effects. When this card inflicts battle damage to your opponent, target one tunnel in your graveyard and special summon in defense position. So he's pretty useful for that other effect. I have 2 Scarlight Red Dragon Archfiends, which his name becomes Red Dragon Archfiend while on the field or in the graveyard. Once per turn, destroy as many special summoned effect monsters on the field as possible with an attack less than or equal to this card's, other than this card. Then inflict 500 damage to your opponent for each monster destroyed. And you need 3 Red Rising
He should be
Dragons.
like, this thing should be ultra rare because of how
you need this. You need this for basically every synchro climb in the stack, every synchro combo in the stack. You need this guy. When this card is synchro summoned, target a designated monster in your graveyard and special summon it. You cannot special summon monsters from your deck the turn you activate this, except Dark Dragon type monsters, which they should all be Dark Dragon synchro monsters. You can also banish this card from your graveyard, then target a level 2 Resignator monster in your graveyard. No, 2 level 1 Resignator monsters in your graveyard and special summon them. Avoid Ogre Dragon, which again is a Dark Dragon synchro monster. Once per turn, during the player's turn, when your opponent activates a spell or trap, while you have no cards in your hand, negate the activation and destroy it. And trust me, you will not really be playing with many cards in your hand with this, because since you'll be synchroing so much, your cards should be exhausted. Beazle of the Diabolic Dragons, again a Dark Dragon synchro monster. Cannot be destroyed by battle or card effects, so I love him just for that, because he's very annoying, and you'll get many eye rolls when you bring him out. When you take damage from an attack involving this card or from an opponent's card effect, this card gains attack equal to the damage you took. So he just keeps getting stronger and stronger and stronger.
Reminds me of that endless
getting
combo
more and more eye rolls.
Reminds me of that Blackwing endless combo. It's disgusting.
No, now, the next 2 cards, actually, I basically dug up on my own. They were not really suggestions. I needed Dark Dragons of specific levels to synchro climb. So, Explodal Dragon Wing. At the start of the damage step, if this card battles a monster, destroy that monster, and if you do inflict damage to your opponent equal to the attack, destroy monster. So, he goes with the whole direct damage theme, and he is a Dark Dragon synchro. I needed a level 7, so he was perfect for that. And Samsara Dragon Rebirth. No one uses this guy, and I don't really understand why. He's a level 5, and you can easily go into a level 8 with him.
No, they wanted to use that level 8. They wanted to use that one level 8 dragon thing. Oh, wait, it's banned now. So,
yeah, it looks like you'll be using Samsara Dragon Rebirth. Haha. If this card is destroyed by battle or sent to the graveyard, or if this card is you control is sent to your graveyard by an opponent's card effect, target one monster in either player's graveyard and special summon it. So, yeah, he just... You can steal your opponent's monster from the graveyard, or use him to bring back one of your higher level synchros that may have gotten destroyed. So, again, he is a Dark Dragon synchro. He's a level 5. I don't really know why he's not used. It's very easy to bring out since I have Sangan in my deck. So.
Alright, and that concludes Leany Dolphy's Red Dragon Archfiend deck profile. So, looks like next week we've already decided you're going to be doing the Burning Abyss deck.
I think so.
All right. Well, Dolphy, stay tuned for Dolphy's Brain Abyss deck profile. I hope you have a wonderful night. Stay safe. And with that, we see you guys next time. Later.